Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go right to, so in the back office, okay, and I'm gonna come back through and actually walk through all of what I'm talking about. But I want to talk about the unilevel because that's very important. Okay, if you haven't, clicked through all these tabs, I suggest everyone do so. Okay, all the way from the dashboard. Okay, this is a demo account that actually is very active. Okay, all the way from the dashboard where you could see we have 8,189 stakeholders right here. Okay, and then here's the chart. And then when you go to buy VVA on this page, this really cool swap feature here is integrated with Pancake Swap. Okay, and then you could, this is where you swap your DAI for your VVA and then vice versa. I talked about the flexibility of unstaken. This is where you could then swap back your VVA for the DAI. So I look like there's four right here I left just to show demonstration purposes. Okay. We're going to come back to this because I want to actually get to the unilevel that we were talking about. Okay. So to illustrate this feature right here, I'm going to skip through this because I'm going to come back to all of it. Okay. But this display mode right here shows you your personal, and we'll get back to that. But this piece right here, the 12 level compensation structure, was developed by Barry, and now it's in our back office. And then we also have the calculator on the very bottom, right? Many of you were like, hey, where did the calculator go? So back by popular demand, our calculator. But we're going to focus on this for a minute since we are on the unilevel part of the compensation plan, okay? Now, this tool right here, okay, you can play around. And many of you know how many you have. So I'm going to go to the reward feature here. So from this, what you're seeing here is the rebase rewards, right, for building your network. And that was that chart that I showed you. This shows you how many members you have, okay? And if you scroll down right here, this will show you how many members on the level. So this account has 22, 25, 38, all the way down to what 8 levels has 3. Okay. So if we were to take these numbers right here, based on this referral reward program, I'm gonna share here now. I'm gonna go back to the stake page. And again, I'm just going to show you guys, just for example purposes, the power of the unilevel. I'm going to come back here. And let's just say, okay, and I'm just going to use this as random numbers, okay? So let's just say a combination, level one, those 22 people had combined a combination of 10,000 VVAs, okay? See, look at this right here. You'll see that based on the market value in USD is 10,645. Your 18% override will be 23.86 VVAs, right? Second level, we had 25 members, and let's say all combined, let's just say they came in with, I don't know, 5,000. I'm just going to use different random numbers because, I don't know. I just want to illustrate this to you guys. I'm going to put 5,000 here, right? So they had 5,000 combined on that level. Let's say on the third level, we had 38 members on that one. And then let's say 20,000 BVAs combined is what came in on that level. On the fourth level, there were 19 members, and let's say all of those 19 members combined was 17,000 VVAs. On the fifth level, we had 30 members, and let's say combined that was 30,000 VVAs. Of course, it'd probably be more because people stake different amounts. On the sixth level, we had 15 members, and let's say combined they just had 5,000 VVAs. And then on the seventh level, there were 6 members. Let's say the combined was just 12 because they're just getting started. And on the eighth level, there was 3 members. And let's say they all just came in with 100 VVAs, right? That would be 300 VVAs. So what I'm showing you here now, we'll go right back to the top. So based on level 1 at 18%, that will yield 23.86 VVAs, right? Now, remember, it pays out every 8 hours. So you're earning 3 times a day. So you got to take this amount times 3. So that's what 23 times 3 is 69, let's call it 70, right? For illustration purposes a day. Let's take level 2 at 13%, that's 8.62. Level 3 with 20,000 VVAs combined, that's 10%, 26.5. Level 4 with 17,000 combined VVAs, 8% is 18 VVAs, right? Level 5, 30,000 VVAs, because remember, exponential growth. So you're going to have larger numbers as you move down. And this is so that's taken what, level 5, we had how many members? 30 members. Now that's like dividing 30 into 30 members. That's what, 1,000 VVAs a piece, right? So 5% is 19 VVAs. Level 6, 5,000 VVAs at 5% is 3.1. Level 7 with 12,000, 5% is 0.80, and then 0.20 with just, 3 people staking, 100 VBAs. So you can play around with this as well. Okay. So all I did was I went to a referral page. I took, how many members that was on this account here based on the levels. And I just did a guesstimation on combined numbers, which disappeared on me now, but you guys saw it at least. I'm not going to input it again. But if you wanted to, play around with a calculator on your personal now. So let's look at your personal, because that's important as well, right? So let's go back to the stake page, and I'm going to show you your personal. So in this account, on the personal, which is right here, okay, you could see that. So there's 4 available here, which I left because I'm going to show you on the buy, how you can, unstake and cash out, okay? Now, currently stake in this account is 34, 24-hour hold is 17, next rebase reward is 15, and the next rebase percentage is 0.439. That's why I said up to 0.44, okay? So the way these numbers are calculated and how you receive your rebase reward is very simple, okay? The rebase percentage of 0.439 is calculated and against your currently staked amount. So whatever you have staked, in this case, it's 3431, right, times 0.34 will give you 15 point, this number right here. So this 15 after 40, well, the countdown clock now has 44 minutes left on it. This 15 VVAs will be added to the 34, and this is where the auto compounding comes in right here. So it's automatically added. The clock will reset to 8. A new rebase percentage based on the algorithm will appear, and then that percentage now will calculate on the new amount. Now, if you want to know, like, based on your rebase reward of 15 tokens, right, in every 8 hours, come down to this chart right here, and you can see every 8 hours earning 15.1, daily is 45, weekly it's 331, monthly 16, and then by the end of the year, you have 416,000 VVAs. Now, if you're saying, well, what is that in dollar value? Of course, it's based on the market value, but you just toggle to US value right here, and it'll show you in US dollars, right? So every 8 hours with this account, this is based on the rebase reward, guys, okay? That not on the full amount. Okay, on the full amount, you would actually take that and go down to the calculator. I'm going to show you that here in a second. So the daily, based on 15 VVAs on your rebase reward, works out to be 48 a day. Weekly, that's 352. Monthly, that's 1,700. Quarterly, that's 8,400, right? Look at that, semi-annually, and look at the year based on that amount. Guys, this is incredible. Again, okay, again, this is for education purposes, but I will tell you this, the numbers don't lie, right? A calculator don't lie, so these numbers don't lie. Again, for education purposes only, okay? But this is powerful. Now, in case you're wondering, based on the amount you stake, I'll just pull the even number here, right? What would that look like for you? So again, the amount of tokens you have staked, whether it be 1,000, whether it be 100, 500, 1,000, 3,000, it doesn't matter. 5,000, 10,000, okay? We come down now to the calculator, which is here for educational purposes, illustration purposes only. I'm not saying you will actually earn all of what I'm about to show you, but in parentheses, the numbers don't lie. All right, so this is starting with your VVA deposit. Okay, but we're going to take the number that's currently being staked, which I'll take the decimal out. All right, now let's just change the rebase reward to 0.1. All right, and let's say you're just wondering in 6 months, what would that look like for you? With the currently staked at 0.4 for 6 months, and we calculate it, okay, again, for 6 months, 181 days, and then with SVVA, these are VVAs, not this actually, the dollar sign needs to go, just to be clear. right? So you're going to end with your yield is 800. Guys, look at this, 822.3% yield with auto compounding. That's every 8 hours. This every 8 hours auto compounding is the most powerful. I mean, we've been taught about, the compound interest on a daily basis, but when you divide it into three, it becomes even more powerful. So all you have to do is take your total. Okay, I'm just going to take that. Okay, I'm just going to, again, illustration purposes, disclaimer. I'm going to take that total amount. Okay, I'm going to put it in here, Control V. Okay, that's the total number of tokens by the end of 6 months, because that's what we're calculating here. Let's just say in 6 months, I don't know what a token is going to be. Let's just say it's $5. I'm just throwing this out just to calculate, right? That's $158,000 based on the number of tokens at a $5 value. Okay, and again, you guys can play around with this, right? It's a tool. You can recalculate it. Play around if you're building your team. What would that look like right here? Okay, and all these tools are available to you. Play around with it. Dream. That's why I said Veritas Vault is your vehicle to financial freedom. You determine how much you want to make. You play around with the numbers. If I staked X amount personally, what would that look like? If I build a team and share it and I have X amount being staked, what would that look like? Okay. But everything you calculate, just remember, it's 3 times a day, every 8 hours. This is beautiful. Okay.